Bison Nation has arrived again in Frisco, Texas, and is an excited group. More than 4,000 fans gathered tonight to whoop it up before tomorrow's championship game. Tonight's Pet Fest, that was broadcast live on KX4, featured a parade of speakers who had no trouble generating applause. Valley News Live's Mike Morkin was there, and he's joining us live with more. Mike?
Christine, it's still rather smoky here. The overhead lights are up, the laser lights are still going, and most of the 4,000 people who attended tonight's Pet Fest have left. I can't tell you as I walked around tonight during the Pet Fest that a lot of the folks I spoke with are certainly excited about tomorrow's game, and I think they're all glad to be back here in Frisco. You know, this year is the 6th in 7 years that the Bison will be competing for a championship, and I can tell you that after missing out on last year's event, I think a lot of the folks are glad to be here again.
I think after last year, we've learned that this isn't a God-given right, and it's just nice to be back.
A little nervous. I mean, this is probably the toughest team they faced, I think.
Very, very excited for the game tomorrow. First time, you know, why not, right?
Go Bison.
Go Bison, for sure.
You know, a lot of the fans that were here for tonight's Pet Fest are probably going to be making their way around the tailgating area that's next door to Toyota Stadium over in Frisco. And, you know, earlier today we reported on some communication problems that led to some folks that were early tailgaters. They had to be evicted and told that policy dictated that they couldn't stay. We can tell you that things have calmed down a little bit, and I'm sure everyone that was there and a lot more of the RVs that are parked around Frisco will be in line early tomorrow. We've been told that the tailgate section will open up at 5:30 tomorrow morning. Our coverage, by the way, of the pregame show begins at 9:30 tomorrow morning and will continue for 90 full minutes, which will include a lot of material, a lot of interviews, and a lot of entertainment and exciting leading up to the kickoff at 11 o'clock. That game is on ESPN2. For now, reporting live from Frisco, Texas, Mike Morkin, Valley News Live.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for that live report. We're excited to see what you guys bring for tomorrow morning. Well, Bison Nation, it's time to huddle up for the Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show. Again, that's what Mike just told you about. But Bison Nation, it's also time to huddle up and show support of one of your own. That's because the Bison football team is gearing up for the big game tomorrow, while a West Fargo fourth grader is battling an opponent that doesn't play fair. Langdon Solberg looks like a healthy 10-year-old, but doctors found swelling and fluid around his brain after he complained of severe headaches. A shunt was put in to relieve pressure. The prognosis does not look good, but the Bison football team and men's basketball teams have rallied around their young fan in hopes of spurring a miracle.
Landon, this is Nick DeLuca. We just want to let you know that as tough as we are, we think you're even tougher.
Like a friend of ours had posted, if Nick DeLuca says you're tough, you're tough. So that was some good motivation for Landon and for us as parents.
Now, tomorrow on our pregame show, that starts at 9:30, we'll hear from Landon and his mom and dad about the tough road ahead of him. Now, Bison Athletics have helped the Solberg family during some of their darkest days. Coming up after weather, in an interview you'll only see on Valley News Live, our investigation uncovered a homicide investigation near Devil's Lake. Plus, there's been another high-profile resignation within the Fargo School District. What led to that decision in just a few moments. But first, Justin, after going through a brutal week of cold temps, is there any relief for warmer air this weekend?
Well, we got one more very cold night, and then we're going to get to see temperatures above normal for this time of year, which we haven't seen in about 3 weeks. Plenty of sunshine out there today, but still cold with high temperatures just above 0 degrees. We have a wind chill advisory in effect for, say, everywhere from Langdon to Cass County and points off to the east. Now, this is until 10 a.m. tomorrow for wind chill values 20 to 35 degrees below 0, and that could cause frostbite within a half an hour on exposed skin. Current air temperatures look like this. Cold spot out toward Bemidji at 20 below 0, 17 below 0 at Wadena, but getting warmer as you make your way off to the west. 7 below in Fargo, 2 above at Devil's Lake, and Jamestown holding at 1 below 0. Now, the wind speeds starting to flip around to more of a southerly direction. Now we're going to see a south wind as we go through the overnight, and it will actually start to turn breezy. Wind's not that bad out there right now, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll see winds 20 to 30 miles per hour during the overnight and for the day tomorrow. Here are the current wind chills: 27 below at Thief River Falls, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, and Fargo, and out toward Jamestown, all at 18 degrees below zero for a wind chill. So mainly clear skies as you make your way from the Red River Valley. It points off to the east where the coldest temperatures are, with a nice deck of cloud cover out toward Devil's Lake and Jamestown. We'll see an increase in the clouds as we go through tomorrow morning as the warm air filters in. High pressure, the very cold high pressure that was over us this morning, working off to the east. We're going to start to tap into more of a southerly flow. And we're going to see an increase in the clouds because of a warm front making its way through. And there's a lot of warm air compared to where we were in terms of temperatures. That's going to filter in for Sunday, Monday, and for the day on Tuesday. Sub-zero temperatures again. We will start to see temperatures rise almost as we speak, as the wind is now flipping around from an easterly to a southerly direction. And we see a nice increase in the cloud cover as we go through the day tomorrow. A strong south wind, and that will pump in warm air. Afternoon temperatures into the teens. And then we will see temperatures rise into the 20s as we go actually through the overnight period on Sunday morning. So here's where they look: near zero to start the day at 7 a.m. Temperatures rising through the single digits into the teens. Evening plans, breezy with a temperature around 17 degrees. We're going to keep cloud cover as we go through the day tomorrow. Coldest air out to the east, warmest air out to the west. Now, as we go through the day on Sunday, we have a chance of some snow showers lasting Saturday evening through Sunday morning. Other than that, we're going to stay dry with temperatures near the 30-degree mark as we go through the day on Sunday, and we're finally about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. 26 on Monday, 31 on Tuesday, partly cloudy skies we start next week, and then more cold air filters in after a cold front gives us a chance of some snow showers on Wednesday, below zero highs again on Thursday, and a high of 2 on Friday.
And for all those who are enjoying Frisco, we all wish we could be there, but what's the temperature look like for them?
It's about 58 degrees at game time.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it would.
I mean, we're too spoiled with our temperatures that we're going to get this weekend. But
yeah, I know. Near freezing is going to feel pretty good for Sunday through Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Well, a mother looking for answers about what happened to her daughter called us on our whistleblower hotline. Our investigation uncovered a homicide investigation near Devil's Lake. In an exclusive interview, Janae Samuels and her daughter was murdered back in November. Our investigation revealed Georgina Lopez died of a stab wound to the chest. According to police, John Graywind, a relative of Savannah Graywind, was in a car chase and apprehended the same day Lopez died. The FBI said that a domestic stabbing incident led to Lopez being dumped at the Devil's Lake Hospital, and this mom still wants answers.
Because I'm sick and tired of not knowing why my daughter was murdered. It's not that I want answers. I need answers. I deserve answers.
The FBI said there's a joint investigation ongoing, but could not confirm that Graywind is in custody. To see the full investigation, head on over to valleynewslive.com. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us on our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will then get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. And we're going to follow up on a story we first brought to you yesterday. We continue to investigate the second high-profile resignation in the Fargo Public School District just within the last few months. Records from the school district show accusations from a senior administrator saying business manager Brock Leitz made derogatory statements about elementary principals. And he told another staffer regarding that first administrator that he wanted to, quote, tear her face off. So we visited Leitz at his home where he confirmed his denial that the situation rose to that level. Leitz resigned from his position on December 15th. He says he is moving on to other opportunities. A spokesperson for the school tells us the incident is the only one leading up to Leitz's resignation. This comes on the heels of the superintendent's announcement to retire at the end of June. Well, some area schools are working to allow you to know where your child is when heading to and from school. Valley News Team's Ashley Holcomb tells us what's being done to help keep a close eye on your kids.
What if you could track your child on their school bus route?
That would make me feel better.
Well, at least you know where they're at.
Better knowing where they are, safer.
Fargo School District and Valley Bus have been testing a pilot program that allows them to record the exact time each student gets on and off the bus. When the child steps on, they scan their card. And before the student steps off, they scan again. But this hasn't been the easiest to implement.
Kids need to have the cards. They need to be on their backpacks. They can't be lost. They need to scan them. And they need to scan both getting on and getting off. It takes a little more time, so it's a sort of a complicated process.
However, officials say the positives seem to outweigh the negatives.
At any one point in time, you'll know who's on the bus. You can see it online on a computer at any time. And you can see where kids get off if you've got a lost child at a later point.
Because this information is limited to the schools and Valley Bus, they've selected a few parents to try an app called Here Comes the Bus. This application shows parents where the bus is and how close it is to their home with just the touch of a button. Lewis and Clark, Lincoln, and Eagles Elementary are the only schools using the tracking programs. So will this expand to all the elementary schools? A decision has not yet been made, but McLaughlin has hope.
Right now, I'd say almost all parties agree that the benefits are worth the investment in time, effort, and money to make this happen.
In Fargo, Ashley Holcomb, Valley News Live.
Again, as our reporter mentioned, Fargo School District and Valley Bus are only focusing on elementary schools this time. Whether they expand this to middle schools and high schools has not yet been discussed. Well, scary moment this morning at Aggregate Industries cement plant in Carrington, where a man had to be rescued after getting buried in a sand pit. Officials reported the man was trapped at around 11 a.m. at the plant on 10th Avenue South. The Carrington fire chief says rescue crews removed the man and he was taken to a local hospital to be checked out. Officials were on the scene for about 2 hours. And the state fire marshal is investigating the cause of a fire that knocked out the general store and Farmers Union Insurance building in Langdon, North Dakota. The initial call came in around 8:30 last night when multiple fire crews arrived. As you can see, flames were shooting through the roof of the general store. The Cavalier County Sheriff's Department tells us there are apartments above the general store. However, no one was in there at the time. Now, it's unknown if those residents have been displaced because of the fire. Both the general store and Farmers Union Insurance building are a total loss. Well, more shock for people coming in the Northeast. First, a massive winter storm. Now the bitter cold. That's still ahead tonight.